The greatest illusion of external. This wisdom will change how you perceive the world. What if everything you've been chasing, love, happiness, peace, and approval was never outside of you to begin with? On the journey of self-discovery, many of us get lost in a maze of illusions. We've been conditioned to believe that joy comes from achievement, that worth is measured by recognition, and that love is something we must earn from others. So we look outward, hoping to find wholeness in someone else's eyes, peace in the validation of strangers, and fulfillment in external goals. But here's the paradox: the more we search outside, the more incomplete we feel inside. We believe that once we achieve certain milestones or find the right person, we will finally feel whole. Yet even in our proudest moments or deepest romances, there's often a lingering emptiness, a quiet voice whispering, "There must be more." So we keep going, chasing mirages of connection and success, hoping they'll complete the puzzle of our identity. But the illusion is this: we're not missing pieces. We've simply forgotten that we were whole all along. True fulfillment doesn't live in someone else's approval or in the applause of the world. It grows from within. When we realize that external validation is like grasping at shadows on moving sand, we begin to awaken. We see that what we're really craving is not something out there. It's the deep, unshakable truth of who we already are. The complexity of the ego, which is a construct that is connected to the domain of activities that take place in the world, is where the meat of the issue rests. This ego covets and amasses a dazzling assortment of life's treasures, including wealth, intimacy, recognition, and affection, among other things. On the other hand, despite the fact that they shine brightly like jewels in the sunlight, they are still only pieces of a much larger truth. One of the most important things to do is to acknowledge that the pursuit of the ego is an unending hunger. Momentary satisfaction is provided by each acquisition, but the reverberation of the heart cries out for more. True fulfillment, on the other hand, is immune to the influence of external demands. It is possible for the world to provide its attractive items. Nevertheless, these products are just threads that are weaved into a tapestry that is still unfinished. In spite of this, a subtle realization comes to light while one is engaged in this never-ending pursuit. However, the quest's objective presents some intriguing problems, despite the fact that it is not fundamentally bad. Is it possible that there is a component within us that exists beyond these wants, beyond the tides of everything that is transient? Imagine a realm within yourself that does not require any external supplies to survive. It is entire, whole, and exudes love that is not conditional on anything. Not because it is everything, but rather because it encompasses everything it is needed, because it is everything. This essence, which is pervasive across the entirety of humanity, is referred to by a variety of titles including consciousness, soul, or the indefinable, among others. It is a reality that is independent of circumstances and exists at the center of existence. Ego, on the other hand, presents a different picture, one that is comprised of a collection of beliefs, and it whispers that something is amiss. Take a closer look, however, since these are not the truths, rather they are merely murmurs, a story that was built by a piece of yourself. Take into consideration a viewpoint that is devoid of a you and is battling with issues. Misfortunes vanish into the void when one is in this mental place. The knowledge that fixation is not the essence, but rather the release of illusions that are begging for attention originates from the realization that this notion gives rise to. And it is there in the midst of the silence that the realization spreads its wings. As time goes on, one comes to the awareness that the concept of fear is nothing more than a mental construct, a mirage. Your core, the unadulterated essence of your being, the part of you that has never been damaged, is brought into contact with the unfolding of the beliefs. Therefore, consider the freedom that results from this. When it comes to healing, it is not about creating a new version of yourself. Rather, it is about removing the burden of beliefs that are weighing down your spirit. Additionally, as these shackles are removed, clarity will emerge, revealing that you are and have always been entirely complete. The thing that was felt to be broken was nothing more than a mental construct. Just for a second, consider the possibility that this reality, this concrete realm that we sense, is more of a projection than the substantial reality that it appears to be. Imagine that it is a dream, a tapestry that is woven with the strands of you being conscious. Some people relate it to a simulation, but not in the sense of a digital simulation. Rather, they are trying to comprehend how consciousness puts into existence this picture. The only thing that exists at the very bottom is consciousness. Everything else, including all of your forms and appearances, is simply different aspects of you that are manifesting themselves in a variety of different ways. On the other hand, this is where the mystery lies deeper. We frequently perceive these aspects as being distinct from one another, and this is where the origin of our search rests. In the light of this, why do we look for affection and hunger, for approval from other people? It is a pursuit that is fueled by the illusion of separation, which is a seductive quest. The idea that love must originate from another person and that the fulfillment of one's life can be found in their embrace. The act of expressing love to other people is without a doubt a beautiful expression. Nonetheless, the most important thing is seen on the inside. The path begins with a profound source, which is love for oneself. It is precisely within us that we find the love that we seek from the outside world, the love that appears to be unattainable. It is a flame that is not conditional and is ready to be acknowledged. It is common to have feelings of isolation, helplessness, and a sense of being adrift when one considers the concept of being very dependent on other people. What if, however, I told you that the source of empowerment and fulfillment does not come from outside sources, but rather from within your very being? A new light has been shed by this insight. The goal of the search is not to look for love, approval, or contentment in the outside world. Rather, it is to discover these treasures within oneself. You should think of the world not as a stage that you are performing on, but rather as a canvas on which you can paint your experiences as you continue on this trip. The colors of separation start to flow together, revealing a tapestry that was fashioned by consciousness. In this way, the story unfolds. It is a journey to accept the love that is already there within you, a journey to let go of the veil of separation, and a journey to realize that you are both the seeking and the sought. Because of this understanding, the landscape shifts, and you become the architect of your own satisfaction. You become the alchemist who transforms the base metal of yearning into the gold of self-realization. Eventually, the craving for acknowledgement from others will go away, and in its place will emerge a profound connection with one's own essence. Imagine reaching a point in time when selecting other people is not a requirement, and when your interactions are not the result of an emptiness that is brought on by the desire to find love, acceptance, or validation. The whisper of consciousness is where the knowledge of the truth is exposed. The things that you appear to be looking for in other people, those wants that are difficult to describe, are nothing more than transient shadows. They come and go like waves on water. You, on the other hand, contain a reservoir of something profound and something that is everlasting within you, nestled in the center of your mind. Within the embrace of consciousness lies a limitless source of fulfillment, a love that is unrestricted by any constraints. This source, which is unchanging and consistent, is not something that can be won. Rather, it is a realization of what has always existed, an acknowledgement of your inherent identity. There is no gift that can truly complete it, and there is no deprivation that can erode it. The structure of your being is unaffected by the external circumstances that you are a part of, and it is not restrained by the shifting currents of life. It is in this context that the idea of love that is not conditional can flourish. Self-love is a potent force that emerges as you travel inward and as the blossoms of self-realization unfold before you. The tremendous power of this self-love stems from the fact that it was conceived from the womb of self-awareness. Having this foundation is the basis upon which one can cultivate inner peace, a serenity that endures regardless of the changes that occur in the world around them. It is important to note that this profound and complex mood does not promote isolation, nor does it condemn social relationships. A call to liberate yourself from the chains of dependence on the love of others is extended to you in this invitation. You must let go of need because in reality, you have never required it in the first place. The love that you have for this person is so strong that it allows you to feel at peace with your own existence, even when you are experiencing turmoil. The realization that you are not distinct from the world, but rather that you are the world, is the source of this love. Throughout the process of unfolding its colorful tapestry, consciousness assumes an infinite number of shapes, and you are each of these forms. Because of this, conversations no longer feel like a craving for completion, because you have realized that you have never been one who is lacking something. The way you experience the world is altered as a result of this information, which reverberates in every link. In the same way that the body and the mind are only facets in the fabric of existence, this essence, this love, stretches beyond those limitations. And this love, this profound power, embraces each and every facet of this dream world without any form of reservation. The realization that everything, including every form and sensation, is a manifestation of your soul, is a result of this awareness, which awakens an intuitive understanding within you. The very fabric of reality is knitted with love, which becomes a thread that is woven into the fundamental nature of existence. Due to the fact that it is the core of who we are, its essence is irrefutable, unchanging, and never experiencing strain. This love continues to exist, a soft welcome for all that comes up, even when there is fear there. Regardless of the forms that are performed on this magnificent stage, it provides acceptance without any conditions and without passing judgment. The ego makes an effort to fight against and reject this love. In spite of this, it is quite interesting to note that the mere existence of the ego is maintained by the fabric of acceptance, because there would be no ego if acceptance did not exist. This is something that you have chosen to accept, and it is already a part of you. Imagine a change that has taken place now. In the process of moving your sense of identity from the ego to a situation in which you do not have an identity, you will discover a tremendous sensation of release, freedom itself. The shackles of identification are released here. And here is a place in which the desires of the ego are no longer important. You will discover the genuine meaning of freedom here. When you reach this point, the desire to be validated by other people is no longer a factor in your well-being, and the belongings you own are no longer the most important factor in determining your happiness. Your mind's whispers of inadequacy do not affect you in any way, and you continue to be whole and entire. Mind is the creator of uncertainty, the composer of explanations and justifications that disguise the truth. Mind is the artist of doubt. In this state, however, you come to the realization that excuses are nothing more than delusions. A glimpse of the immense expanse of your being, the canvas of love that is not conditional, on which the dance of existence is performed, is presented to you. The canvas of your mind, which was originally spotless and unspoiled, was filled with beliefs that talked about inadequacy and about trusting other people. There is a possibility that you may rediscover your inner essence, which is filled to the brim with an unconditional love. As a result of this insight, you could find yourself wondering whether it is possible that everything we look for in the outside world, everything we think we are lacking, might actually be residing within us all along. It is not the mind's nature to be born with these ideas. To believe that there is something wrong with you or that your integrity is dependent on other people is not something that it was programmed to believe. The process consists of letting go of thoughts that aren't actually yours and letting go of clothing that you borrowed from other people. Keep in mind that as you continue along this path, you will come to the realization that you are the origin of the love that you are looking for. This treasure is not something that is only accessible to the outer world. Rather, it is a component of your very being that is always accessible and always yours to investigate. The reason you should embrace yourself, flaws and all, is not because you have received acceptance from another person. Rather, it is because you have reignited the spark of unconditional love for yourself. The love that reverberates within becomes a reflection, an echo of everything that is going on the outside. Through this change, we are transported to a place where the intellect is able to forget, but the heart is able to remember. The journey is not about changing into a different person. Rather, it is about removing the surface layers to expose the person that we have always been. So remember this, the most meaningful journey you will ever take is the one that leads you back to the love that has always lived within you. I truly hope the insights shared in this video help guide you closer to your essence. The part of you that has always been whole, always enough and beautifully complete just as you are. Thank you for choosing to walk this path with me. If this message resonated with you, I'd be honored if you'd give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world. Feel free to share it with someone who may need to hear these words. And don't hesitate to leave your thoughts, stories, or reflections in the comments below. Your voice matters here. Once again, thank you for being here. Wishing you peace, love, and clarity on your journey. Until next time.